People of the internet, the Bert Kreischer drama is juicier than a lonely mom's snack box on a Sunday, and let me tell you, I am here for it because I love this great, juicy comedy drama, and we're going to get some more today in the Podcast Cringes film. Bert Kreischer gets drunk and embarrasses himself. So settle in, grab your favorite beverage, grab your joint, because we are in for some sensational comedy drama.
So the way LeBron looks at his body, I look at my body, right?
I've always said you guys have the same.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, LeBron has 5 drinks on a podcast.
By the way, that's my favorite Sam laugh I've ever. I do all the shit he does, but I do it for my liver. So I get 2 IVs a week. Look at him still laughing.
Bert comparing his health to LeBron James is the best moment we've had. The way LeBron looks at his body, the greatest athlete to ever live.
I've been thinking about this a lot lately, but sometimes I find like there's moments where I'm like, Bert could really be redeemable. There's moments where I'm like, he gets bullied by everybody. Like, this is basically another bully session, right? It's gonna be. That's what I'm getting the vibes, and I think, man, he might just one day be redeemable. Obviously, he's likable because a lot of people are paying money to see him. So I just think like maybe one day Bert can redeem himself, and then it's not even anything big. He just does something, and you're just like, fuck that guy. You know what I mean? Do you know those kind of people where you're trying to see something in them, and then they do something, and you're just like, oh God, that's why I don't like you.
Your liver's the color of LeBron. I'll give you that.
I wish I wasn't a joke. Like me.
No,
like,
we
no.
fucking
Like,
love you.
Bert Kreischer going on the We Might Be Drunk podcast and saying, I wish I wasn't a joke, is the chef's kiss from the podcast gods. These are the moments that this channel exists for, and the 2-hour 40-minute runtime on this episode did not disappoint. It was almost double their usual episode length because Ari Shafir rocked up halfway through, and then Bert refused to end the podcast because he wanted to keep drinking and talking about all his deepest insecurities. Sam literally tried to tie it up several times in the last hour, but Bert just kept steamrolling him and changing the subject. And out of all of Bert's podcast appearances over the last year or so, this was definitely one of the more eye-opening ones in my opinion, because after Bert had a few drinks, he started opening up about some deeply personal.
Dude, let me tell you something. You can tell that who's that guy? Mark Norman, the unfunny one, the most unfunny guy in the Rogan sphere, Mark Norman. You can tell. Look at the bottle that Bert's holding up. That's his whiskey, right? Bodega Cat. The font on that you never use that font ever. There's some fonts in graphic design that you just never use because they look retarded, childish, and it's just poor taste. And you could tell he didn't spend much money on graphic design. Look at that. Let me let me break down this graphic design for you real quick. I'm gonna show you how they did this. I'm gonna use my cursor here. So you got a background, right? You got a background. They put a blue background back there. They probably got some overlay right here. This looks like or they probably got some like graphic. I'd say that, some graphic. And then you just turn the opacity or fill down so it gives this light outline. This, you see, I'm not really even sure. This is a cat. So what they did here is this was probably from like Windows 95 clip art. And so you see the edge here. You see the edge here. So all you got to do, and like even even if you go into Photoshop, this is definitely done in Photoshop, even though you can have fights about Illustrator or Photoshop all you want. Which one you prefer? Whatever. And so you just click on it and it just selects the whole thing. And so then they did a good job here. They centered the cat. You'll see that the center line is like right here. And with the space here, it looks like you'll have another line coming across here. So you have like a mark. So they centered, to create a little bit of offset, they centered straight rye whiskey in the center of the graphic here, right here. So everything's based off of that. Bodega Cat, they upped the font. So they did font pairing here, right? That's where you get two fonts that go together. And then, so this took like 2 minutes. This literally would take 2 minutes. Anyways.
Issues that he's been dealing with. Don't get me wrong, I know that he does this on almost every podcast he goes on, but there was something different about this one. He just seems like he's in a really dark place lately, and towards the end of this video, I'll take you through exactly why. Basically, he's become paranoid about people doing impressions of him, and so he started going on about why he hates it in quite a bit of detail, and then tried to get the producers to delete that section because he was worried about the backlash. So stick around because I've got all the context and clips to take you through. And speaking of impressions, Kill Tony's first Netflix episode went up yesterday, so make sure you head over to my Patreon via the link in the description and sign up so you don't miss out on my video covering their Netflix debut. It was an all-star cast of Austin comedy assassins, so check that out if you're interested. But as for our boy Bert, as you saw in the intro...
Hey, podcast cringe, that... You need to post that one to the public. Let me tell you. You need to face the Kill Tony fans. There were over 1,000 comments, and then there were hundreds that YouTube has this section on the creator page where their AI or whatever. So this is why, if your comment doesn't show up and you're like a regular person and I haven't taken the time to ban you because you're just trying to shit on me instead of making constructive conversation, well, you know who you are. If you ever don't see your comment, YouTube AI, and they snag up stupid stuff that doesn't even make sense, but 90% of the time they get the ones, you know? And so when I opened that bad boy up, oh, there was every single name you could call me in that one. But it's, you know, YouTube makes it really easy to just ban everybody. And, you know, that's what I do. People go, well, you gotta let commentary. I don't fucking know you. I gotta let you do nothing. Who the fuck are you? This is my page, brother. I'm gonna let you do shit. This entitlement that you don't know me, but I can make something and you're just allowed to come shit on it, and I have no idea who the fuck you are. Fuck off. No one believes that bullshit. If I don't want you to comment on my page, you're not commenting on my page. And I don't give a fuck what you think, because none of y'all could do shit about it on the internet or in real life. So suck it. Back to this. I just went on it. I had a little time. Hey, those Kill Tony fans, man, they've been coming at me for the last week. It's relentless. Every video. Just, yeah. But that just lets me know. It lets me know that they care. And really, if we're being honest, if we're really, really being honest, I just wanted to be accepted by the Kill Tony fans more than anything. That little guy that jerks off in the corner, I just want him to like me. You know? And it's sad. It's sad that no matter how good of a video I make, they don't accept me.
He's still under the delusion that he's a healthy 50-something-year-old who's fit and strong and not suffering from any health issues. Except when he started listing all the meds he's taking daily in front of Mark and Sam, they didn't hesitate to give him a reality check.
Uh-oh.
We heard you wanted cranberry. We wanted grapefruit.
Oh yeah, I can't do grapefruit because I'm on blood pressure medicine.
Might be a sign that you should slow down the drinking. Right there.
No. Blood pressure medicine.
You can have poison.
Grapefruit.
Not grapefruit.
Grapefruit counteracts with medications.
Cheers.
Is that right?
Yeah, so you can't.
Oh no.
You can't take medications and grapefruit.
This is gonna kill my blue chew.
Definitely don't do that. Wait, are you on a Bluetooth for real?
Wait, is it bad for your heart?
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
Dude, there was it's strange because like I don't keep up with like Bert Kreischer on a day-to-day. I don't look at social media except for YouTube. I tried to do other ones, it just doesn't work. I have no time for it. So I don't know what he looks like. But I did that Lucky thing. When was that? Like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? And the whole thing was he lost 40 pounds and like was on testosterone, right? And on this fitness kick. And then you look here and he looks like he gained it all right back. And he like, hey, I'm not gonna put my little LionMeows character thing aside, right? Right? Being honest, Bert Kreischer looks rough. And if he didn't have all that makeup on, he's looking rough. And look at how he looks at that drink right there. Look at how he just looks into it like it's like he can't get enough. This is like there's no purpose to life, and I'm not gonna try. And there's no moral code that we should follow, and that's all horseshit. Whoever's in power dictates that, right? But I think there are some things where you're just blatantly doing bad to your body, like your body physically, like you're destroying yourself. And Bert Kreischer has the looks of every man that is destroying himself. If you've ever seen one, you know the looks, and I don't think he can stop. I don't think he could stop. We're going to be watching the inevitable Bert Kreischer video one day, and probably soon. Try to watch this comedy drama shit, and then you see this guy, and it hits you that like, damn. Like the writing's on the wall, man. And it's not even like a preference or social value. It's just like alcohol. Literally, I don't drink ever. I stopped drinking. I never had a problem. I never really liked it because once you're done being young and having a tolerance for alcohol, and hangovers hit you at like 25, 26, when you get your first hangover. So when I got my first hangover, I was like, yo, you mean I can party for a few hours all buzzed and having fun, and then I got to spend a whole day sick as a dog? I was like, no, that don't even make sense. So I don't drink, and I don't think my body really does well because I'll have a beer here and there, but if I have more than 2 beers, I get sick. So like I physically just not really meant to drink. I don't even know why I said that. I had a point, but I smoked this joint. I remember I went off on something. Let's just get back to it, man.
Oh, God.
No, but I sauna, I cold plunge, I get IVs twice a week. I'm doing the whole regimen. I'm at Ways to Well, and shout out to Brigham and Denise over at Ways to Well. Denise and I had a meeting, a couple months ago. She was like, "You've had the best numbers you've ever had," and I got to be honest with you. You can get in front of the shit that's going to be bad. Like I'm on testosterone.
That's true.
I'm on metformin. I got blood pressure medicine. I got cholesterol medicine. I got freaking. Not hazelnut, but like some like
Just throwing out words now.
I take so much shit, but I take it every morning. I take it every night.
Yeah.
And
at my bachelor party, that was a lot of pills on your nightstand.
Yes.
So you're on it. You're ahead of it,
dude. I love.
The only thing Bert Kreischer's ahead of is his expiry date. Saying your bloods are perfect and you've never been healthier while you're taking pre-diabetic medication with blood pressure and cholesterol meds is absolutely fucking insane. Bert's idea of being healthy is living every day on life support and claiming he's good to go. And I don't wish Bert any harm. He's clearly my favorite lolcow, and I wish him nothing but health and longevity. But if he's going to tell us how healthy he is on every podcast while looking like a sunburnt Winnie the Pooh, I'm going to call him out for it. For the most part, though, Mark and Sam were supportive and said nice things when it came to Bert's health, but when he compared himself to LeBron, Sam reacted exactly the way people need to start reacting around Bert when he makes crazy claims. He laughed in his face and couldn't stop.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It is something nice about just being taken care of. You get in that first class, they throw a fucking blanket on you.
Oh, you switched up on me. Look at you.
I've had too much grapefruit. My liver's hurting. But yeah. Nah, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I was trying to make you feel better.
Mine feels a little weird.
Oh, no.
Your liver's f***ed up?
No, I'm kidding.
Your liver's like, we're right at
I
home.
got blood work. I got blood work and
Your liver must be ripped. Your liver's like...
we got the same liver. I love when people are like, no, I'll tell you right now. Go to Ways to Well.
Who?
Ways to Well.
What's that now?
Ways to Well.
Ways to well?
Dude, I get my blood work
does that
done
mean?
every 6 months.
You're good.
My fucking shit's clean.
Come on.
Pete,
Yeah.
last one. Denise said my liver's never been healthier.
Okay, so I've always heard this Ways to Well stuff on Joe Rogan and stuff, and I was speaking to a pharmacist I know, and I told him like, oh, do you know anything about this Ways to Well? And then like we went to the website. The website just does not make you feel confident. I mean, it's just like they're pushing testosterone and every kind of substance on you. It reeks of there's a famous guy in marketing that did marketing funnels, this con man, and he did all these marketing funnels thing, and it just, you could see websites that are designed just in this marketing funnel structure. Not that that's not what you're supposed to create, whatever, it's the whole nother theory, but it's just so obvious that they're snake oil salesmen. And that was the vibe when we were looking at the website. That was the vibe. And there just has to be some kind of consequence to messing with your body all the time. You know, I don't know. We'll see.
Is it the exercising, the water,
Let's be real.
the pills?
So the way LeBron looks at his body, I look at my body, right?
I've always said you guys have the same.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, LeBron has 5 drinks on a podcast.
By the way, that's my favorite Sam laugh I've ever heard. I do all the shit he does, but I do it for my liver. So I get 2 IVs a week. Look at him still laughing.
I don't know if this is the best podcast ever recorded or I'm hammered, but this is amazing. And we've gone past drunk.
Wait,
Bert comparing his health to LeBron James is the best moment we've had. The way LeBron looks at his body, the greatest athletes ever live.
Your liver's the color of LeBron. I'll give you that. But I don't know about we're doing the same health, same liver. Liver, please.
Can we do a Patreon call? We might be hammered.
Holy shit. No, that's so much.
Oh boy.
I wish I wasn't a joke. Like me.
No,
like,
we
no.
fucking
Like,
love you.
When I was a kid, I realized the funniest I was when I wasn't trying to be funny. And that's the purest comic you get, is like when you're not trying to be funny and people laugh and you're like, I don't know why they're laughing.
Right.
And I swear to God,
Because you can't turn it off.
Because I dated a chick one time, Erica Youngblood.
There, Bert goes again, doxing people from his past for absolutely no reason at all. But the funniest thing about that whole interaction was that Bert genuinely did not realize what was so funny about what he was saying. That's why he said, I wish I wasn't a joke, because he thought he was making a legitimate point about how dialed in he is with his health. Then he tried to cover it up by calling himself a comedy purist, because the best comedians apparently don't realize when they're being funny, which is some high-level cope from Bert Kreischer.
Okay, random thought number 1. Do you notice that how everyone in the Rogan sphere, is always trying to tell you who the good comics are. And it's not just verbally. Like, look at this. You notice in every one of these Rogan, they always got pictures of the same fucking comedians. And I'm sorry, but I ain't never thought Bob Saget was funny. And I watched Full House, but Bob Saget as a legendary comedian, come on. Like, I'm not gonna point out the other ones. But you know, it's just, why they always got to try and tell us who the best comedians are. I still haven't even told you what comedians. I just tell you which ones are retarded. That's it. Anyways, and second point, I just don't know what to say anymore. It's just like they're what they're finding funny about Bert. I'm just like who's fucking giving this guy time anymore? You know, my emotions with Bert are always all over the place because he just won't stop. He just doesn't stop.
And like I was saying just before, it was Sam's reaction that caught Bert off guard. Mark Norman seemed distracted, but Sam was genuinely like, what the fuck did he just say? That's why more and more of his friends need to react like that when Bert starts talking absolute dog shit. It's the only way for him to realize that what he's saying is out of pocket. But then Ari rocked up and they all realized how smashed they were, which naturally turned things gay.
Yeah.
It's like drinking bacon, dude.
It's very good.
I'm pretty lit right now.
Yeah, we all are pretty lit.
I like this.
This is nice. It's 5:30 in the afternoon.
We should do. Do you guys have Patreon?
Nah, we're too lazy.
Yeah,
We got rid of it.
Look at it. It's so great.
Let me see.
So
It's hard.
Punch it.
That's hardcore.
That's hard.
325 pounds.
Jesus.
Yeah.
You're f***ing big, dude.
Yeah, I jack.
What's the drink? Jack. Woo, I lift, bro.
This has turned so gay. I'm touching his muscles. He's like,
I hate Ari Shaffir. Like, that guy, look at his sunglasses. Do you remember these guys? They never left high school. Do you remember these guys in high school? And there's always like this alternative rocker kid. Hey, I wore the band t-shirts, but there was always that one guy that would always have like weird colored hair. And then he would always wear like girl sunglasses or really flamboyant sunglasses, you know, like the Kurt Cobain thing in the early 90s. And, like, he was just way too cool for everybody else. Like, look at God, that guy's so fucking annoying.
You can lift. By the way, this is what the podcast used to be.
And so it was in the second half of the episode that Bert started to loosen up a bit and start oversharing. This is what I was talking about in the intro, except we're not quite into the impression talk yet. For those of you who don't know, there's a video of Andrew Dice Clay walking in Central Park when he bumped into Jerry Seinfeld, but Jerry didn't realize who it was, and so Andrew started stalking him pretending to be a fan. At the end, Jerry realized what was going on and stopped for a chat and posed for a photo, etc., etc. Naturally, Bert stole the opportunity to make it all about himself.
There's not a single video in existence of Jerry Seinfeld running.
except for that episode.
Oh, yeah. Maybe about
When he's running away from Dice.
Yeah. Oh,
That's the
yeah.
only one.
Pull
When
that
he's
up.
Sprinting away from Dice, trying to like.
He didn't like Dice?
No, Dice was doing the thing, but he didn't know it was him. He goes, Jerry. And just Jerry's like, some fan. I'm tensing up. I'm not going to turn around. And Dice just stays after him. He didn't want to bot.
Well, it
Talk to
ended.
a friend in a park.
It ended nicely.
No. Hang on. If you come up to me,
You're
phone.
an outlier.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Call him a liar.
I'm not. No, the truth.
Wait, you mean you're cool if someone walks up to you with a phone?
Are you kidding? That's his dream.
Yeah, you're an outlier.
And don't shame that dream. Let's hang on.
I think we've reached a breaking point with the unsolicited.
You're a man of the people.
Broke this down to Keynes.
Yeah.
There are two types of people. There are comics that pretend they don't want to be famous, right? They're liars and they're manipulators.
No. I think.
Why get on stage? Why get on stage? Don't. What do you think? You're a gift to the gods that we needed your fucking words to share with us?
No one's disputing that. I'm just saying the walk up without the consent of the video. Just ask for consent.
Nope. You got
Just leave people alone, man. It's just, I don't know. We're all people. Who cares? None of us are famous. Calm down. We all take ourselves too seriously. If we made fun of each other more, the world would be a better place. Tell you.
Not you.
Bert, you're
Or regular people.
You're a fucking whore.
You're wrong. Regular people. You're forgetting who your mom is, who your sister is.
My mom
who
wouldn't
your
go up
aunt
to
is,
someone with a
who your aunt
phone.
is. I'm telling
He's
you right
with a
now,
friend.
you are overestimating the world based on your experiences. And we would never do that. But the regular person sees Al.
Just say, hey, can I take a
Al
video?
Roker and goes,
Al Roker.
I'm telling you who the regular person sees.
You get weak-kneed
They go-
in Al
and they
Roker.
go- and they-
Bert is
the-
fucking hammered.
The regular human goes, his
biggest hero.
Oh, shit. That's Al Roker. That's Al Roker. He's at a table. He's having dinner. Can you believe I sat next to Al Roker and they do a video?
Bert talking about regular people as if he's fucking royalty is almost as
It's so good.
Austrian's brain, and Stovey laughed in his face and gave him shit for it. There's nothing regular about chasing celebrities for a photo without their consent. Us regular people call those people crazy people. And Mark was right. That's Bert's wet dream. He literally talks about being recognized in nearly every podcast appearance he does. The guy is obsessed with attention. He's got some of the worst daddy issues I've ever seen, and he's even spoken about it publicly, how he's always struggled for his dad's approval because his dad thinks he's an idiot. I don't even want to imagine where Bert would be if he was born a girl. But the whole impression talk took things to a whole new level for me. Maybe some of you may have heard him say these things before, but it was the first time I'd heard him talk about impressions and how much he hates them. It started with Kyle Dunnigan, who does a killer Bill Maher impression, and he actually also appeared as Elon Musk on Kill Tony's Netflix debut. And for Bert, well, he's not a fan.
Kyle Dunnigan, funny guy.
New rule, people, okay?
Okay.
Crazy that like Bill won't do Rogan if he talks about Kyle Dunnigan.
It's so fun. And it's even funnier that Rogan's like, I'm definitely gonna. So it's up to you.
Yes. And Bill's like, I'm a comedian. You're like, are you?
Are you, though?
You can't be made fun of. You can't be talked
You gotta
about.
give Jerry credit. He laughs at people making fun of him.
Hold on.
100 hours of
I don't
footage
care
of
about
people going,
Palestine.
what's the deal with it?
I said to you, I don't know. I'm being real right now and I'm drunk. So edit it. I don't want to, but like I don't like when you do an impression of a comedian.
What do you mean?
I don't like it.
What do you mean? Sam specifically or anyone?
No, like I don't know. I'm not gonna say it. I texted you one time. Like Jeremiah did an impression of Mark, and I didn't like it.
Oh, I thought it was
yeah,
it bothered me. It bothered me.
No, I thought it was really funny.
AI Mark
It's
Norman.
funny, but I go, yo, I don't like because they did it to Dane. And it minimizes the person. And it's like, yo, there's a nuance. And dude,
I thought
they're
Jeremiah did it with love to Norman. Though.
Yeah.
I know, but and then edit it out. But I just didn't like it. It bothered me. And I
Really?
texted Mark the next morning and I said, I don't like that. I don't like it.
Does Jeremiah troll the Kill Tony people now? I hope he does. Because they all. It's like, to my understanding, and I don't know, but my casual glance at how it comes off to me is Jeremiah got the excommunicado from the Rogan sphere, but then it's like when that shithead friend creates so much drama that the really nice guy that everybody likes kind of gets pushed out of the group, because for some reason, right? But everyone really likes that guy, so they're all still friends with him, and it makes the shithead really mad. You know what I mean?
I'm just weird about it. So like, I understand Bill Maher's point of view.
Bert with the, I'm not going to say it, and then says it. Fuck me dead, Bert. But the whole Bill Maher situation is so funny. There's nothing better than seeing a celebrity get all up in their feelings because someone did an impression of them. Kyle Dunnigan has actually appeared on Kill Tony as Bill Maher as well, so while it started as just a fun gag on Instagram, now it's got legs. This is how it all started back in 2020 on JRE.
Will you do my show?
Sure.
Okay, I asked you before, and you were very squirrely
there's
about
so many
it.
people. They're all talking over each other for
They're
sound
not,
bites.
you know, I heard you say that once when you were
that's how I
laughing at
feel.
some guy doing a terrible impression of me, and it's a very
Kyle Kalinske? He does a great impression of you.
I didn't know who he was.
What's that? Did I say Kalinske? Sorry, Kyle.
No,
Kyle
we
Dunnigan.
don't have to.
That's interesting. Kyle Kalinske and Bill Maher or Joe Rogan have had. There's a very big thing going on there. Kyle Kalinske, guy's really intense now. It sounds like he's just become another radio show pundit for whatever. I don't even know what political side he's on. But there's a big feud, and he trashes on Rogan. I've always wanted to talk about it, but yeah, I don't know how it all came to that, which is really weird. Probably the political thing, right? Yeah.
So look at this. I'm leaving.
It's amazing.
To you, it was amazing. It wasn't. I don't man. But people have done me, and I can laugh at it. It's not that it was just
your face. He's got your face, and he's doing an impression of you. You've never seen this?
Did not. I saw what. Anyway, the point.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The point was. What was the point?
Bill Maher is so cringy that he looks like he's doing an
He looks like a miniature, and look how little. I said I was gonna stop. I'm trying to not make fun of short people.
impression of himself at this point. It's the flailing hands with the oversized head for me. But Bert was also talking about the time Jeremiah Watkins did a full costume impression of Mark Norman for an episode of Adam Ray's Dr. Phil live show, which Mark was a guest on as well. By the way, Jeremiah also did an impression of Joe Rogan on Kill Tony like 6 years ago when Rogan was a guest on the panel, and Little Joe did not like it one bit. Fuck, that was funny. Anyway, Bert eventually explained why he doesn't like impressions of comedians.
So you whittle down the thing they do, and you go like, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. And then none of the nuance is there. It's like, you can do it to every comic. And I'll tell you, they did it to Sebastian a couple times on Skanks. And I understood it. I get it. But it's like, Sebastian's a little more than, what's up with these people? You know?
Yeah, no, they know that, though. They're just like doing it for funny, the funny part.
I know, but I just
Put 'em in a weird
I think when it's done with love.
flag that, because I may not like putting that in there because I'm just,
I get it.
I don't want to shit on
totally
Jeremiah.
hear what you're saying.
I'm not shitting on Jeremiah.
I'm cool with Jeremiah, and we talked about it, so I find it somewhat flattering, but I see what you're saying.
It bothered me. I texted you probably.
Okay, there are two things on my Christmas list this year. If the comedy gods are listening, here we go. Number one is a Netflix live special, The Roast of Bert Kreischer.
To be honest, like, that's a nice kitchen stove, you know? Is that like a Vulcan or something? Bro, I would love to have a kitchen stove like that. You know, just the consistency of the flame, you know, just such a, it's beautiful to look at. I gotta give it to Bert on this one. The stove, excellent choice. He even's got like a little fancy looking microwave, but I don't know if that's fancy, and it seems fancy. Microwave. The furnishings, on this this kitchen faucet. I'm just gonna give my opinion here. I just want to give you my honest opinion here. The furnishings, they're a little too antique-y looking. You can see like the design here, because you have this very modern aesthetic with this gray, this minimalist gray, and then this darker gray. It looks like it could, I would assume, be marble countertops. And then you have this very like Midwest country, I don't know how to say it, very Victorian. I don't know, it just gives off that vibe. You can't have all these lines. There's too many different things. It needs to be one consistent flowing faucet. No rivets, no divots, no nothing. I don't know how to say it. No line, no bump. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, because then you have this very modern, clean, minimal fridge right here, but then you have these weird, maybe it's the head of this faucet, and then down here at the bottom, see, it should all just be one smooth piece, or very rigid, you know. Anyways, okay.
Kreischer, holy shit, imagine. And the second is Adam Ray as...
Sorry, the tile choice is also, you've got a very 60s, 70s aesthetic there. They've basically made good decisions, in my opinion, for the countertops, the cabinets, the stove, the microwave, even that sink. The sink itself is good. Good choice. The cutting board doesn't match the aesthetic either. And of course, just put your paper towels in a cupboard. Why are you trying to show off your paper towels? You know what I mean? What are we doing here? Now look, I want to tell you, I do not live like this. My house is, the upstairs of my house is concert posters that I've went to. I'm gonna be honest with you. Horror. I think we have a really big living room with high ceilings, and so we have horror posters, then posters of like 9 Inch Nails, then a record player, and all of my speakers all around the room. And we have like one couch. We have a big house and live like college students basically. So who am I, right? But look. If I was a million, bajillion, gazillion movie star, and I had to do these things with houses, and I had to show off my house in photos, and I had to like actually try to decorate, or design something, I would not make these choices here. I also think the floor, that floor right there reminds me of like the 80s and 90s with linoleum. It just looks like linoleum, and they probably paid way too much money for it, but the floor just looks like linoleum. And you can see here, right down here, you can see they got lazy because they just got a plain black mat, which like, I don't know where that fits in with the floor or the countertops. It kind of looks like just a very, anyways.
As Bert Kreischer and Kill Tony. That would be an absolute godsend. Bert is so fucking petrified of being made fun of that he can't even stand to see impressions of other comedians. The levels of insecurity on this guy are reaching epic proportions. Maybe it has something to do with his fear of clowns as well. But I remember watching that and thinking, hang on, didn't Mark and Ari do absolutely epic impressions of Bert on the biggest podcast in the world just a couple of months ago?
Yeah.
On the very show that replaced Sober October.
Yeah, Van Wilder, based on Bert Kreischer.
Isn't that nuts?
That's so crazy.
Isn't that nuts? It's literally a movie based on Bert. It really is.
Yeah.
Like they wrote a story about it for Rolling Stone magazine.
The original title was The Interruption.
It reminds me of me. Secret time. You guys have such good Bert. Secret time.
Okay, Bert definitely...
I like when people do impressions and I think impressions are really cool, and people that can do good impressions. I think everybody thinks that people that could do... Why would you ever be mad at people doing impressions? I think... wait.
Brought that up with both Mark and Ari because he was dirty about those impressions from Protect Our Parks. I'm actually surprised that Mark didn't pull out his Bert impression when he brought it up with him. That would have been funny as fuck. But it really says a lot about how up their own asses the guys who hate impressions are. Think about it. Bert hates it, Bill Maher hates it, Joe Rogan hates it, Tony Hinchcliffe isn't a fan, and of course Brendan Schaub hates it. Talk about a who's who of douchebags. Meanwhile, guys like Mark Normand couldn't care less and find it flattering that someone would go through the effort to do an impression of him. And you could see how Bert kept telling the producers that he wanted them to edit those bits out and delete it because everyone was disagreeing with him and he didn't want to make it a thing. But now I think it's basically a casting call for Bert Kreischer impressionists. Surely Adam Ray is sitting back watching that and licking his lips, or something like that. Like I was saying at the beginning, though, that whole discussion really showed a different side of Bert. His insecurities are really turning dark. I mean, his explanation of why he doesn't like it was kind of weird. His main concern is that they miss out on all the nuances of the comedians and portray them as mere stereotypes. Bert has the nuance of a bull in a china shop. I think he's just paranoid about being made fun of, and after they all mocked him on Protect Our Parks, now he's worried it's going to become a thing, which it should. So hopefully an impressionist gets the memo and starts developing their pig squeal and hones their interruptions to perfection, because the only thing better than Bert is someone pretending to be Bert. Maybe not. Anyway, don't forget to head over to my Patreon via the link in the description for a full breakdown of Kill Tony's Netflix debut. There's a bunch of other stuff on there that you might be interested in as well, so go and check that out. Otherwise, make sure you subscribe to my channel right here on YouTube and hit the like button while you're here. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next.
You know, I don't understand why Bert gets so mad at the people that come and like comment and make fun of him on his stuff. And like, look, if you make these things on the internet, you're gonna get it, right? It just is. And it doesn't matter. It's just some random person. What you need to do is you got to make those people work for you. Here's the secret. You need to get them just so upset at you or just poke at them, right? That they got to keep coming back. And I believe you also need to ban certain people as well. You just ban them. Ban certain people. Look, this is your audience. Your fans want to say things. The people that like watching you want to say things. You don't want the conversation to get diluted with these guys that just want to make the same comment the guy before, man. Oh, you're stupid. It's like, okay, whatever. You know? But before you ban them, here's the secret. Before you ban them, you make comments that anger them. You make fun of them. You say things to them. And maybe you let them comment, or maybe you just give them enough time to read it before you ban them. You gotta troll those who troll you. I mean, the art of trolling is just, it's a brilliant thing. And don't let those people that hate on you, they're not your fans, right? They're not your fans. They're never gonna like you. They're just here to hate on you. So don't give them your energy. Give them your work ethic. And that work ethic will turn those haters into numbers, into spreading the word, because they got to always talk about you. That's what it is. You're always going to have haters. I just don't understand why Bert Kreischer just doesn't troll them back and let them work for him in his favor. It is what you have to do. Don't get mad at him. Who cares? Who cares what some random person says? Or does that really make you upset what some random person says? No. But use what that random person says to poke at them, so that you can troll them back to benefit your channel or your comedy show, whatever. The thing is don't take yourself so seriously. Because if you do, you end up like Bert Kreischer.